Hey, what's up everybody? It's Richy here, and today we are back on Richy's World with some cool ideas and some cool plans. It is getting dark. That was not part of my cool plans. I'm just gonna try to keep going and hope I don't get killed by monsters, but today we're gonna turn this gigantic hole and the surrounding area into a base. No, we're not going to build giant cool things, unfortunately. We're going to add the defining feature of a base to this area, which is an automatic storage system. Now, I have a couple chests laid out here that I was just throwing junk in, and I thought it's finally time to make a storage system where we can easily store all of our items, sort of like the one we had in the last season, where you could allocate items by saying, okay, I want some cobble here, let's fill that area in like this, and then I want the next area to be for emeralds, so I could fill it in like this, and if I want cocoa beans to be here, we could fill it in like that, and basically all the empty slots would have items filter into them, so if, say, emeralds came through the sorter, they'd just collect in the first slot right here. Now, those designs are kind of complicated, but truly incredibly cool. And it turns out that very recently, a much better, faster, more efficient, and actually less laggy one was designed by Gnemden. I think that's how you pronounce his name. MC. So we're going to build, just in this area, a 6x9 sorter, which is going to give us 45 double chests of storage, which I think is already bigger. Yeah, it's already bigger than what we had in the last season. You can also throw shulker boxes on it, which is something I might be interested in, just setting up an area with shulker box storage, and when you don't want, and let's say you want sand, you just pull the shulker box down, and then take the sand with you, which is a cool, newfangled storage idea that I have not tried out yet. This isn't going to be our only storage system, but it's going to be, this first module is going to be the bulk of it. And I think it's, ow, buddy, it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, what I actually meant to do is turn my sound on. Okay, I'm still a little stuffy. It's the morning. I have allergies. But I think it's going pretty well around here. So what I'm going to do is actually log into the test world that Gnemden provided in his video. I'm going to link that, of course, because it was truly and utterly awesome. And I'm going to show you around the sorter that we're going to be building here. Okay, now, you're probably seeing all the shulker boxes behind me. That should give you a decent idea of the scale of this thing. But if you decide to look at the redstone here, you might be a little scared. This is actually using rails instead of redstone to update blocks, and the reason it's doing that is because rails actually create a lot less lag, but this system is scary. It is pretty gigantic to build. It's a lot bigger than our older one, but it's faster, and it works a lot better. So we're going to be building one of these modules. I think we're just going to put double chests right here instead of shulker boxes. But just look at this. We're going to need a couple stacks of observers, I think. Some powered rails, which we might not have. A ton of droppers. And a ton of hoppers. I'm actually hoping that we have all the materials we need, because in all honesty, I'm not entirely sure that we do. But we're going to start by laying out all of the chests up front just to set up the space we want this thing to take up. Okay, if you look over here, you should see nothing. Absolutely nothing over there, because we sort of have a problem. Our base is so big that if you stand on one side of it, the other side is actually outside of the entity draw distance. Meaning, if we walk up here, you'll see that all of a sudden all these chests appear. If we walk back, you'll see them disappear and appear and disappear and appear and disappear, because essentially we're so far away that any entities, whether they be zombies or chests, do not get rendered in. They don't get... So, in the same way, if we were on this side, any chests over there would not be rendered in, which means we have a really big base, guys. Like, this is going to be cool. Now, obviously, we have all of these chests here, and this is the size of the first module of storage. I say first because eventually we'll have more, but this is pretty sizable. This is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I'm counting in rows of double chests, so it's actually already comparable to the size of the storage system we had before. We'll eventually add some more storage systems like this, some for shulker boxes. We'll have bulk storage for things like cobble, and because we learned from the mistakes of last season, they're all gonna be right around here on a platform. This whole area is gonna be carved out into a platform, because we're gonna have sort of... Here's my vision for the base right now. We have a big circular platform with sort of walls on the outside of it. Not really, though. It's going to feel very open. We have a pit going to bedrock with some really cool stuff going down on it. I also want industrial farms built in along the sides of this, which I think can be cool. And then we'll have some crazy, like, decorative bridges going up to nether portals, sort of like here, in the center. And once we get that done, we're going to have some crazy towers sticking out from sort of the 45-degree angles. And after that, I have some plans for making this sort of the center of a giant castle-like network that will link us to the outside of this perimeter right here, which is completely and honestly massive. But this ring is going to be the center, and what we focus on first. But before we focus on any of that, we still have a storage system to build. So the next step is getting a hopper for every one of these double chests. We're going to need more than that, but that's just the start. And throwing them in the back, facing into all of these. And, well, on the good news, we'll soon be going on a mining trip. But in the bad news, we ran out of iron. We only had enough to make 26 hoppers, and you might think, oh, well, that's almost halfway. You're almost... No. Because we are going to need massive rows of hoppers. First of all, we're going to need more above and below this, and then we're going to need rows of hoppers running in and out. So we are maybe an eighth of the way. No, I'd say this is a quarter of the hoppers we need, which means we need a ton more iron. Now, we're in one of the situations where we probably have enough iron somewhere. We have a ton down in this beacon, and we have some resources we could replace with iron. Oh my gosh, we have I'm stupid. Like, this won't be enough, but we just have a stack of iron lying on us that I, for some reason, decided not to... I don't understand either, guys. Here, let's make some more of these. How did I just miss? I mean, like, I get that we're still not going to have enough, but how did I miss a stack of hoppers? But we do have a long-term problem that needs to be settled in the short term, if that makes any sense. Because this pick is on its last legs. It's going to cost 32 levels to repair it, which means either we can repair it once, or we can maybe hopefully put an enchantment on it. And the only enchantment that, of course, it would make sense to put on it would be mending, so we're going to need to find a villager who can give us a mending book to get us a mending pick, so that we don't have to worry about having to replenish and repair our items all the time. Alright, that is indeed working. That should be working. Let's just go down here. I mean, it's not working, of course. It's just better than it was before. So we need to get a lot of iron going. But to do that, we're going to have to basically AFK over at our villager breeder until we can get a librarian that will give us the books that we need. Okay. So we have a bit of a problem. As you can see, all of these villagers have brown coats. The reason for this is we started with a librarian and a brown-coated villager, and then there was a baby, and then the librarian died, and now there are only brown-coated villagers, which I believe means we can only produce villagers with brown coats. I mean, it seems logical, but I think it would be different. And I normally would think it would be different, but I've been sitting here for around an hour, and this has happened. So, we need to find a way to get villagers of different professions. We need a cleric, and we need a librarian, and with that we can hopefully get a mixed population. However, that's sort of easier said than done, because the nearest village is like a thousand blocks or so that way. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. We had a cleric right here. We had a cleric right here. He died. Everyone here died. And I don't know what's going on. We had a green robe villager, and I killed him. I killed him, and that's probably a stupid mistake, because him with some of the other villagers could probably get a villager of a different profession. I think it's only when you have two villagers of the same profession that you only get villagers of that type, which sucks. This kind of sucks. I am not entirely sure what to do, but I guess we're going to take a trip all the way over to our beloved and far-off village. Oh, you know what? It's night. We should probably sleep. And see what we can do about getting some more villagers from there. Well, it is about 7:40 in the morning for me. I have just woken up to go to running, and I am still trying to get this thing to work. I don't even understand. We got this guy here, and then we had a few baby villagers of different varieties, and then every baby villager since then has been a brown coat, which is really bad luck for me, because I need librarians. I need books. This is a cartographer. I think it will help increase our odds, but nothing has been happening, and everything is just dragging on incredibly slowly. Even this fishing rod I decided to make it was like a 30-minute adventure to make this fishing rod so we could AFK fish in that farm over there while we're here. And I know this villager, it's not meant for something to wait on. It produces a villager about every 10 minutes, but I don't even understand. I do not even understand. It has been hours and hours and hours, and we are no closer to getting a villager that can give us a mending book. Alright, progress update number... I don't know what number this is. I've been standing here, I've been fishing, discovering things, sort of waiting around. We actually did get, if we look in here, a baby librarian villager, which means this is finally working. Will we get it to work in this episode? I don't know. The other thing that I sort of noticed, is this. I don't even know what I should be doing about this. If you don't know what's going on here, well, then you're not alone, because there's a zombie horde. Oh my gosh, there is a... Oh, okay, we gotta kill these guys. We gotta kill these guys right now without getting murdered ourselves, and that might be a little difficult. What is up? Is there a zombie spawner here? Like, that is the only logical explanation for this. There has to be... I mean, I know there is a zombie spawner down the peninsula a bit. It's right in plain sight, but this should not be happening. This should not be happening. Maybe it's a reaction to the village. Sometimes if a village has a high population, it like, I don't know, weird stuff happens. But, yeah, this is a thing that should probably be lit up. However, I don't have any torches on me. In fact, I barely have anything on me. So I guess we're going to swim up here, wait to see if the librarian has anything when he grows up. And depending on what happens there, we'll see how we're going to finish up this episode. Okay, so the librarian has grown up, he is ready to trade, and he is a cartographer. We have a baby cleric on the way. We have more stuff that's gonna happen eventually. But right now, stuff is not that great. So unfortunately, guys, I'm going to abandon this project, the idea of getting mending for right now, which is kind of sucky because it took up most of the episode. I mean, I did some fishing. That was kind of productive. I actually, made this new fishing rod, and the cool thing about this is that instead of Luck of the Sea 3 and Lure 3, it uses Lure 2, which from what I've read, this may or may not be right, but while Lure makes it, or Lure, however you want to pronounce it, makes it easier to catch fish, it also decreases your chances of getting junk or rare drops. So it's better to have not the max amount, so like you have either Lure 1 or Lure 2, and then you get a little bit of speed, but still higher likelihood to catch, fishies. I've heard people say Lure 1 is the best, I've heard people say Lure 2 is the best. We have to try both out. But I made this nice little rod, and so far it's been working out pretty well. Now, I don't know what we're going to do from here. We have some skeleton horses to take care of. This episode has sort of been a flop. It was going to be about the sorting system, and then it was going to be about getting our tools, and then nothing happened. Where did that guys? I think we picked up his drop. I'm not entirely sure. But for right now, we're gonna head back to our base. And you know what? To finish up this episode, I'm going to dig out some of the area, just some of it, around our base, because that's where our cool little platform is going to be. And we want to just like even a very rough. We want to get even a very rough ring established. There's my shovel. Should probably enchant that, but yeah, so you know what, we'll go back to our future base, we'll sleep in a bed, we'll enchant our shovel with something low level, and then we'll dig out some more of the area on the outside right here to clear the way for our cool new base. Okay, so we're just going to throw this right here, get efficiency 2, which is okay, and then go up and dig some of the area around this big circle out. Alright guys, it is nighttime here on Richy's World, and as you can see, we've cleared out basically a little walkway going all the way around and lit it up. And I know that is not a lot to do. I think in this episode, we made a wall of chests, we put hoppers behind it, we made a new fishing rod, we sat inside of a spawner, or a villager breeder, for forever. And then we dug some dirt. Probably one of the least productive episodes I've ever done. I don't really know what to say. It was, whoa! The episode's not gonna go that bad. The episode is not going to go that bad. But you know what? I'll go back down there. Because I think the very last thing to do to end this off is to do a mining challenge with haste. We have some diamond picks right there. We also have the freedom. You know what? Here's my plan for now. This is not doing well. None of these picks are doing well. Okay, let's take this diamond pick. What enchantments could we get on it if we wanted? Silk touch. 28 levels. Okay, I'm gonna head over to our automatic, semi-automatic XP farm. Alright, so let's make a silk touch pick. Ooh, that's already efficiency 4. Sort of might mess with the original plan, but here is my plan. We're going to take this efficiency 5 pick and slam it right here. And then if we see any ore, maybe we'll use our fortune pick, or this is going to be, we're gonna use our fortune pick or our silk touch pick, I think. Ooh, you know what? Let me get a Unbreaking 3 book for this silk touch pick right here. Slam that right there. And I think eventually this will be a max silk touch pick, so we'll call it Silky. And now with our sort of wonky tool set, the only thing left to do is to go, get out there, and mine. Okay, guys, we are back, and I think this is going to be it. However, after 15 minutes of haste mining, and about 15 minutes of going back and collecting the resources, we have one of the most successful mining challenges I've ever seen, and it's this method I invented, combining strip mining and haste beacons, has really shown to be the best method I've ever used. It is pretty insane, and as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little bit more stacks of coal blocks. 2 and a little stacks of iron, 3.5 stacks of redstone, with some redstone that we accidentally broke and some coal we accidentally broke. 29 gold, 14 lapis, and 28 diamond ore. Now, you probably noticed we haven't broken any of this, and that's because, not because we pressed F3 by accident, but because our fortune pick is sort of on its last leg, so we're only gonna break what we feel is important. I don't know why I keep pressing F3 instead of F5, but this will all add up to so much more once it's broken with a fortune pick. But right now we're just gonna break those diamonds, because we have 53 durability left, and that's what we care about. So I'm just gonna place all of these down, grab my pick, and tear through them. And ladies and gentlemen, we did something right for a change, because this mining challenge gave us 57 diamonds. In 30 minutes, 15 of them were spent mining. The rest was just literally picking up the ores. 57 diamonds. That is insane. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to have another episode coming out this Saturday, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button. And I really feel like I do a lot of fun stuff here. So if you check out some of my content and you like it, please hit that subscribe. Oh no. Subscribe. Subscribe, or I'll get killed by zombies. But yeah, that's gonna be it, unfortunately. So until the next time, this has been Richie, and I am out. I'll see ya.